Hey everybody, it's Governor Gavin Newsom, and we're all on this platform in search for the truth. And the truth is, there's no issue that drives so much of our anxiety more than the issue of jobs and the economy. But it's an interesting fact that GDP growth in California last year outpaced all red states in America. In fact, the fastest growing economies in the United States, top three, are all democratically led states. The question is, what is it about so many of the blue states and their economic success that Republican states are not considering?
I guess when Trump sought to make his own little fact-free echo chamber for his cult-like followers on Truth Social, he didn't realize that people like Gavin Newsom might still be able to create an account and just tell the truth, which I realize is a foreign concept on Truth Social. Now, in terms of the content of what Governor Newsom said, let's just dive into this for a moment, because there's a pretty major disparity at play here in terms of how Republicans present themselves on the economy and how Republicans actually perform on the economy. Newsom was right that California has a higher GDP increase than any red state. In fact, it's got the third highest GDP increase in the nation, and the other two states are also blue states, Hawaii and Nevada. Of the top 10 states with the highest percent increases in GDP, 7 of them voted for Biden in the last election. And of the 10 states with the lowest increase in GDP, 9 of them voted for Trump. So Republicans might crow about how they're uniquely qualified to handle the economy, but in fact the numbers show that they are uniquely unqualified to handle the economy. And beyond that, blue states are largely responsible for funding this country, while red states are largely dependent on those blue states to support them. 8 of the top 10 states most dependent on the federal government are red, with the average red state receiving $1.35 per dollar spent. And yet 9 states sent more money to the federal government than they received. 7 of those were blue. So again, Republicans can crow about how they're these economic geniuses, but I guess it makes things easier when you're leaning on the welfare of blue states to succeed. And as far as jobs go, let's be real here. There hasn't been a Republican administration in the last 3 decades that's created more jobs than a Democratic administration. And of all the recessions that the US has suffered in that time, those have occurred under Republican presidents. And all of the recoveries have come under Democratic presidents. In fact, Trump, who came into office pounding his chest as the quote, jobs, jobs, jobs president, has added the fewest jobs in modern American history. Joe Biden, by contrast, has added record jobs. And for those who say that that's not Trump's fault, it was only because of COVID, 2 things. First, Trump was the president during COVID. He owns the country's successes and its failures. Maybe if he wanted to protect jobs, he wouldn't have pretended that a deadly pandemic wasn't real when he should have been ramping up testing and contact tracing. We don't say that Bush's term was peaceful except for 9/11. Trump was president. He owns what happens during his presidency. But just for the sake of it, let's just take the average jobs added by Trump before COVID hit. Trump was president for 37 months before March of 2020. In that time, he oversaw the addition of 6.1 million jobs. That means an average of 166,000 jobs per month added. Biden's added 542,000 jobs in the last 15 months that he's been president. That is 3 times as many jobs for Biden as Trump. So if you're looking for the jobs, jobs, jobs president, I think we found him. Now, I should note too that this isn't the first time that Newsom has posted on Truth Social. Here's some other videos that you might have already seen.
Hey everybody, it's Governor Gavin Newsom, and I know we're all on this platform in search for the truth. But the truth is, I've not been able to find a simple explanation for the fact that we have a red state murder problem. 8 of the top 10 states with the highest murder rates happen to be red states. So the question is simple. What are the laws and policies in those states that are leading to such carnage? Hey everybody, it's Governor Gavin Newsom, and again, we are all here with one thing in common, and that's the search for the truth. And the truth is, there was an analysis done recently of the 14 states with the highest COVID death rates. And they had one thing in common. They are all led by Republicans. In fact, you compare California, for example, to Florida, 52% higher death rates, COVID death rates in Florida than California. So my question is a simple one. How do we define pro-life?
Now, in terms of whether this will have any impact on Truth Social, I can't say. But I do think that there's some merit to meeting people where they are. And if what Newsom is doing with this video and one similar to it is waking even a few people up, then the simple fact is that it can't hurt. And in a media ecosystem that's almost entirely bifurcated, injecting a little bit of truth into the conversation has no downside, even if that conversation is happening somewhere as prone to lies as Truth Social is. To see more videos like this, click the subscribe button right here on this screen. And to support my work beyond that, check out my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, where I cover the week's most important stories and interview the biggest players in the world of politics, including President Biden, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, Katie Porter, and so many more. The link is also right here on this screen. And finally, to take action yourself and sign petitions on the most important issues, go to briantylercohen.com/petition.